We are going to break down why it is so important that you know that becoming a profitable practitioner takes time. Capital T-I-M-E. Find out why. Understand that the college that you graduated from has set you up to become the best and most competent practitioner that you can be. And that is something that you should be taking to the bank. They don't teach you very well how to market yourself yet, how to use the language to attract new patients, how to write good copy that is going to attract those ideal patients that you're striving to get into your practice. So take the pressure off, get your feet wet a little bit, get into as many places as you can. As I said, get as much exposure as you can. And in my first 2 or 3 years, I also went to every single trade show that I could to see who it was that was showing up to the trade show. Who was it that I was attracting to come to my table? I did as many live seminars as I could to figure out what topics did I present so well that new patients were booking in right after the seminar, or what topics did I love researching to make those presentations with. This is all part of the background piece to figuring out that niched side of your business. So instead of rushing into finding that one ideal person that you want to be attracting, why don't we take the first 2 years to just get comfortable with you actually accepting money in exchange for your time? Get comfortable with setting yourself up in the practices that you have chosen. Get comfortable with seeing who is engaging with you and who isn't engaging with you. That information alone is going to help you figure out and niche down your practice so much more efficiently than if you were to just choose it, hope that it works, force that square into a round hole, and then find out later that you went the wrong path right off the get-go. That is not how I want you to be approaching your practice. Now, for me, as I said, the first 2 to 3 years, I just hustled. I was open 6 days a week. I just wanted to see as many people as I possibly could. It was not until about year 6 or 7 that I realized the aspects of health that I really wanted to attract. That then brought me really figuring out who I was going to talk to, what seminars I was going to give, or when people were asking me if I could help them, I would specifically say yes or no because I knew what my strengths and weaknesses were. And that helped me also develop the GAP protocol, which is now a trademarked protocol that we use in the office that I have every single new patient work through, and I'm now training my employees to do the same thing. One thing that might really help with this whole idea of niching, not niching, niching as quickly as you can, whatever the case may be, is I'm sure as soon as you started training in school, I'm sure as soon as you graduated, you knew a couple of really key conditions or populations that you definitely did not want to treat. Perhaps you really love fertility and you know cancer is not something you're going to treat. Or you really love working with pediatrics and geriatric population is just not the population you want to be working with. That is also helping you niche down who it is that you want to see, and that is perfectly fine. You're still generalized enough to accept the people that you want to in, but you can definitively tell a geriatric person, you do not want to treat them. You are not the right practitioner for them. Someone with a severe autoimmune condition or cancer, you can distinctively tell them, I am not the right practitioner for you. I do not want to treat you. Here's a referral. So this whole idea of rushing and jumping into one particular small area of your business when you haven't even had the experience yet to back that up, I think is kind of backwards thinking. And if you are getting advice from someone who says niching down really transformed their business, I would like you to, again, as I said earlier, really figure out what the journey was that brought them into that niche to begin with. Because I can almost bet you that they either were generalized for a few years before they niched down. They were doing something completely different, and then their niche found them, which I've certainly interviewed a few practitioners where that has happened. Or a condition occurred. For instance, my mentor developed. She contracted Lyme disease, and now she is a Lyme disease specialist. So sometimes things in life will happen that will dictate your niche. And there's just certain people that it was always something that they were going to do because their family member had that particular illness, because they did a different level of schooling or education on that particular condition, and that's what drove them to niche right away. No one, and I will repeat this, no one can niche down without having some level of experience. It just does not exist, whether that be research-based knowledge or hours that they're seeing with patients. But if you have neither of those things yet, then the whole idea of you niching down is just not a good idea. And I strongly encourage you to take a step back, get as much experience as you can from as many people as you can, and work from there.